Satoru Gojo is the strongest. Let's talk about it. Gojo is a force of nature. His strength can be attributed to three factors: an enormous pool of cursed energy and the inherited techniques of Limitless and the Six Eyes. This grants him the ability to manipulate the infinite space around his body and grants him extraordinary perception. What does this all mean? This man is essentially a cheat code that is guaranteed victory. Yay! Gojo's role in the story is to act as a power ceiling, which means he epitomizes the peak of Jujutsu sorcery. A man of his caliber only appears every few centuries. Different series have different power ceilings. Take for instance Dragon Ball Super. The characters that act as a power ceiling are Zeno and the Gods of Destruction, who can eliminate an entire universe from existence. Whereas the power ceiling for Jujutsu Kaisen are characters like Gojo and Sukuna, who are considered the strongest within the confines of the narrative. Introducing us to the strongest characters in just the first few episodes is excellent writing. By witnessing the peak of the power scale, the audience can understand how much growth Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara need to undergo. When our main characters learn a new skill or ability, it feels a lot more natural and organic because we have seen it before. Take for example when Megumi uses domain expansion. This was a great moment not only because he cast away his doubts, but because we have seen top tier characters like Gojo and Sukuna do it before him. We can see how Megumi has taken the next step towards becoming a stronger fighter. Another advantage to introducing a power ceiling early is that it creates interesting character interactions in the show. Let's take a look at the fight between Gojo and Jogo. In this fight, Jogo was completely overwhelmed and defeated, but in reality, Jogo is not weak. In fact, he is equivalent to 8 or 9 of Sukuna's fingers. That is extremely strong. To put it in perspective, the cursed spirit that fought Yuji and Megumi in the detention center was 1 finger strong. This spirit was capable of severely wounding Yuji to the extent that he gave up control of his own body to Sukuna in order to defeat it. If Jogo was fighting anyone else besides Gojo, they would have an extremely hard time. The same thing happens in the battle against Hanami. Yuji and Todo had to team up to stand a chance, but Gojo is able to just completely overwhelm his opponents through sheer strength and Jujutsu mastery. One of the challenges of introducing a power ceiling so early is that it can remove tension in the story, but this series handles this extremely well by making the villains intelligent and calculative. They specifically plan for Gojo and try to obstruct him as much as possible. For instance, when the cursed spirits invaded Jujutsu High, they created a barrier specifically to stop Gojo from entering, so the stakes and tension are still high. As great as Gojo is, he is still human. He can't protect everyone. If you enjoyed this, check out my video on Megumi's philosophy.